Unit 11, Gateway. Think of yourself. When you decide to get up and get a drink of water, for example, you don't consciously organize or consider the host of steps involved. Imagine if we had to consider every single muscle that needed to be contracted or relaxed just to stand up and walk. It would be tiresome and very slow, as patients recovering from a brain injury affecting the motor system know. The autopilot parts of our brain do it for us automatically, freeing up our conscious mind for more important jobs. It is the older parts of our brain that support these automatic processes that allow us to move, hear, see, and use many of our social skills. More recently evolved abilities like talking, reading, and writing are far less automated. So most of the time, what you are perceiving, feeling, or thinking is based on a very crude and fast analysis that happens completely without your awareness. Exercises. Number 1. Green marketing tries to overcome consumer distrust to induce positive associations between businesses and the natural environment. Such marketers often make claims that are vague, irrelevant, misleading, or unprovable. Common techniques include using words that imply sustainability, clean, clear, natural, pure, images of nature, brown and green color schemes, and recycled or organic-looking content. Companies sometimes promote a green image by sponsoring Earth Day events and making donations to ecological charities or facilitating customers doing so. Some of these practices, aesthetics, and vocabulary were once emblematic of alternative media, many of which are driven by a sincere green ethos. Green marketing has become so suspect that some businesses avoid the term. Instead, they label their activities sustainability communication, which ideally engages audiences in supporting operational changes that substantially decrease a business's environmental footprint and contribute to solving social problems. Number 2. Both poetry and mathematics are hard to understand. The reason for students' difficulties is almost always the same. The teacher doesn't say all that he knows. He skips things. Even if he is aware of everything that came before, he doesn't have the time to spell them all out. Conveying a lot of information in a single statement is what compression is all about. And it is this type of compression that is responsible for the difficulty in understanding poetry and mathematics. But there is a significant difference between the two. The compression in mathematics is vertical, while poetical compression is horizontal. In other words, in mathematics, many stages, built like floors, one upon the other, are hidden within a single statement. In poetry, many distinct ideas, not necessarily vertically ordered, are compressed into one expression. This is why the vague understanding of poetry causes no harm, while the hazy comprehension of mathematics gets back at us in a later stage, when the next floor is built. Number 3. We do not recollect events exactly as we experience them. Most often, our recollection of an event differs substantially from the actual event. This is because the way the brain processes and stores information differs from how a computer works. For example, we tend to extract the gist and meaning from our experiences, so that what we infer may be mixed up with what we actually experience. If we hear a list of words related to sleep, e.g., bed, rest, awake, etc., we tend to recollect sleep as being on the list, even though it is not. Also, unlike a computer recovering a file, some memories can interfere with the retrieval of other memories. If a long time has elapsed since experiencing a particular event, and if you have experienced similar events several times since the original experience, chances are you would find it difficult to recollect the original event exactly as it happened. Your memory of the original event may get mixed up with memories of related events. Number 4. Power is a common form of the urge for control. There is an entire social science, political science, devoted to studying power, and that is a persuasive sign that it is an important and fundamental aspect of human life. Power essentially involves control over other people. Researcher David G. Winter defined it as the ability to produce intended effects on another person's actions or emotions. Some may seek power as a means to an end, such as on the assumption that once one is elected, one will be able to bring about certain much-wanted changes. But others probably seek power for its own sake and derive satisfaction directly from being able to make other people change the way they act. Actually, the specific goal of people with a high craving for power appears to be that they want to have an impact on other people's lives, which does not necessarily mean making people do things. Having an impact can be for good or ill, and a person with a high desire for power may enjoy giving money to a struggling family simply because it is satisfying to see how much she was able to change that family's life.